About your book, sir. I'm very excited. I was actually going to pre-order it on Amazon, but I was hoping I can try to get one from you directly. I'd like to be cool to get a little autograph inside of one of them. But um,
Well, I'll tell Deborah to get your address. We have advanced copies, and we can send you one.
perfect.
So I will instruct Deborah to get your address and send it to you.
That'd be great. I'm very happy about that. Thank you. The book's called It Happened. It's obviously referencing your most famous call, which was George Foreman versus the Michael Moore fight. And again, your retelling of that story is also one of the coolest things I've ever heard ever. It's it's again another story of why it's bigger than boxing and why that it's projection of your life. It's showing that what you think you can do and having foresight in your vision and it's so important to not just the sport of boxing, but in regular life. So for him, for George to tell you what he was doing and to be his age and more to be so young, it just adds more of that the romance of boxing.
It was one of those moments when I was wondering, concocted a phrase in advance because George had told me for a few weeks what he thought was going to happen. And I really did not have a prepared phrase in my mind. And all I could think is, okay, he told me this. He said, there's going to come a moment sometime late in the fight. He'll come and stand in front of me and let me knock him out. And now this count is going to 10. And all I could think is, it happened. He told me it was going to happen. It happened. So that's how that call spontaneously became. It happened. It happened. 20 years after his loss to Muhammad Ali, George Foreman has regained the heavyweight championship of the world. Um, what a person! What an amazing competitor! What an amazing philosopher! What an amazing friend! George Foreman is great in many different ways, and he proved his greatness that night.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Um, it's one of those things that I feel a phrase like that only comes from your heart and your gut. I really do feel that way. It's Holy Toledo, it's anything you can think of from Vince Scully, or it's past the bag, everything. It doesn't matter what, like whenever a call happens, it's anything's just natural. And I feel like no one can recreate those moments because in that moment, you're just speaking from the most primal thing you have. Your heart and your stomach and your brain, they all somewhat connect together and they just create something special. And I believe that wholeheartedly that every sport is beautiful in its own right, but the thing that makes it beautiful are the people that talk about it, the people that actually tell you play by play what it is. And I know that firsthand. I mean, off topic, but like my grandparents, my grandma was a women's baseball Hall of Fame player, and like she talks about Vince Scully, like that was a hero. Like we sit down and talk. I'm like, and she's in their 90s, but any sport, football, they all have announcers like that make that important. So credit to you. Without people like you, the sport would be beautiful, but not as beautiful. It definitely is the final touch on the sport.